So, that whole portal thing, let's see if we can't get one up and working here and, actually get into the Nether. This particular video is essentially me trying to get this whole portal thing up and working. Because for some reason I kept thinking this was just a total flawed bug, something that, was not working correctly, and maybe it was something I was doing. Maybe there was some sort of workaround that I hadn't, looked up. So, I started poking around on the Minecraft forums, and I saw a couple posts about it, tried a few things out. This particular video isn't wholly important, so if you really want to skip it, you can go ahead. You're not going to really miss too much. It's pretty much just trying to establish a working portal of some sort, and, see why exactly I'm getting teleported out to wherever the hell I'm getting teleported out to. So the original plan was to create the portal, save it, go into the Nether, and save it there, and then come out and save it, and see if that actually set the particular locations as permanent for, both sides of the portal. Well, I don't know why I thought that, something was going to be different this time around. Right off the beginning, of course, there's those guys hanging around, the stupid guests. That's going to be one of the particulars in the future. I'm going to definitely get a bow, or rather, I had a bow at some point. We'll discuss that in the next video, when I actually do finally establish a base. Now, in the Nether, just in case I don't... my memory's pretty bad. I think I recalled saying that, you can actually... the bricks in the Nether, the hell stone or whatever, break actually fairly easily under gassed fire. But constructed walls, especially like cooked brick, will create fortresses that will withstand the attacks. So, you have a use for all that stone now. Yeah, I'm here destroying the portal so I can create a new one. This one is just down the hill, in fact, from the base. Again, I kind of thought that, at least if they were in the same area, there was still a good chance that I could, spawn into that particular region and, be able to come back. Well, where am I now? Hey, it's the exact same spot. How wonderful. And already I'm under attack by the guests. You will also notice that I do kind of have the same exact equipment every time, even after I've died. I eventually decided that if I, losing gear to my own stupidity is one thing, and if it's something I'm doing, see, you'll notice that it actually created another portal out, even though it's just slightly off, slightly different place from the other one, it created another one. Stupid. There. Anyway, if it's my own stupidity that gets my, gear lost, then that's it. I mean, I'm not cheating gear back in for the sake of me keeping things going. I only put the gear back in because this was crashing like almost every time. Each of these cuts usually was followed by a crash. And in fact, in the other video, there was a cut or two that was caused specifically by crashing. So it's kind of I have to justify it as that dummy kind of on fire. But I kind of have to justify it as as far as a bug goes, a bug is something that's causing an unfair loss or setback, and that's something that is only going to hinder, well, not only me enjoying doing this, but me actually having to create all the stuff back for the simple fact that might happen again the next time I go through this portal, just to, you know, have some other crash, random bug, take my gear away again. So it's pretty much just for that, and I just kind of had a default setup of gear that I went into the first portal with, that I had created with the stuff I had got out of that cave, and that's probably going to be the video after this next one. I'm going to have to go back in for supplies, because, well, all this venturing in the Nether has taken its toll on my inventory of supplies. This place is not very friendly at all. Now, it's not too difficult to survive, per se, but if you want to explore, on the other hand, well, these floating white bastards will pretty much slow you down at all corners of the earth, or the Nether, it is. They will, especially the fact that they'll start shooting these fireballs from like a mile away, before you even are really within feasible range of them, they'll start firing at you. And the fact that they, well, if you just look at the way the Nether is set up, it's literally just kind of like this giant set of cliffs over pools of lava. And the cliffs themselves don't necessarily ever have to end at a low point, like normal Minecraft Gen worlds and stuff. They'll usually kind of come to a slope. You might get the occasional real steep hill and stuff. Yeah, lost it again. That time was, I was kind of boned anyway, but the Nether spawns a lot differently than the regular world does, so you'll kind of have to really get used to finding a good way to explore it. So far, like, there always seems to be a big, huge chasm with the pool of lava at the bottom, and if you're lucky, you get on the correct side of the chasm where all the cool stuff is to play with. If not, well, good luck trying to get to the other side of said chasm, because, again, giant white floating bastards will knock you out of the air while you're trying to, I don't know, build across or dig around to the other side. They are very persistent. And again, if for anybody who hasn't really played around or kept up with the patch update and stuff, the red hell stone burns forever. So it's a good thing to bring back into the regular world with you, especially if you want to make a path back to your base. It makes a nice marker instead of having to use torches all the time. But it also makes for good traps and good item farming, I guess. Animals seem to have a terrible time with getting around fire. I don't know what it is. If maybe just the AI is just terrible, but animals just jump around into fire like constantly, and I don't know. More cuts. Yeah, there's I think 5 cuts, but I mean it's literally like animals don't have any brain cells. It just seems they don't have any sort of ability to avoid fire. Now, monsters and stuff, they pursue you into fire most of the time. I mean, sometimes they stumble into it stupidly too, but I mean they're a lot more aggressive in the fact that they are constantly on the prowl. Once they spot you, they're after you, and you can kind of lure them with fire. Animals, on the other hand, I mean, you don't have to be anywhere near them. I've like made a path of these flaming rocks, and I'll just kind of show it off in a future video. And you can literally just go back and forth across this path, and there's always just, feathers or leather or meat just laying around on the ground. You've never even seen, the creatures that dropped it, but you know what they've done. There's literally piles of stuff around the blocks. It almost seems like if you really want to make an area to farm particular items up, or, just animal drop items anyway. You can pretty much like just make a trap out of these easily, and not have to worry about the risks of, you know, the lava burning them up. Now, I finally figured I guess I didn't stay in that one. I kind of figured out this particular area right here is the one I'm going to spawn in most often, unless I go hunt down that other portal. The other portal, I have no idea where that spawns at. Like, I've kind of figured out eventually where this one is. No, actually, I believe I figured out where both of them were. But this one I, like, recognize. I put that workshop there thinking that I needed to build the boat, because I needed to get across the water. I was like, well, you know what? I know it's going to be somewhere over there. Well, foolish me, it's actually the other direction. And, like, the farm is just right over the top of this hill on the other side. But, since I don't have any lights, or enough lights on the top of the hill or anything, it's on the other side of the hill and you can't see it from here. So, dumb, stupid me, I kind of, you know, started freaking out and like angry faces at the portals for once again messing me up. And once again I try to fix it by doing something that hasn't worked the last 3 times I've tried it. So, hey, I'm sure it'll work this time, right? Finally I just, you know, I said, hey, you know what? Screw looking around for some other place to do it. I'm going to put it right by my base. And, yeah, the saving thing, which, you know, we've established doesn't work. Ride the pig. I have a saddle. I need to ride the pig at some point. Let's see, I'm pointing out the fact that, you know, the world says 0, 0, even though I clearly had to go back to that point, and it should show me the whole, I think it's like 6 megabytes by this point. I don't know what the deal is with that. Again, I think it seems like the world is like spawning the Nether region, or the Nether world, whenever you put the portal down, but having not gone through it, it hasn't actually like generated the area. Well, it's already generated it once the first time around, but for some reason it always shows up, you know, as nothing whenever you mess around with this portal thing. I don't know. I didn't code the game, and I have no clue about Java or anything like that, so I have no idea what's going on with that. All I know is that I need to make a base for this place, because this place is, well, regardless of what Notch wants to call it, it is pretty much hell. And you're eventually, like, I can't get over to any of this stuff. Maybe, you know, depending on your spawn, you might get lucky. But even if you want to start, you know, exploring around a bit, you'll always run into some floating white bastard who shoot fireballs at you before you can actually get to anything. And it really does help to have an established area for you to run to and hide from the, you know, constant barrage of fireballs. And, well, if you catch on fire, you're kind of bummed unless you get back through the portal as quick as you can, and your portal happens to be somewhere near water. But, and that's a good tip if you actually are coming and going through the same portal. You might want to make sure you have some water nearby to put near said portal. That way, if you pop out of it, you can jump in the water real quickly and put yourself out, because there's a good chance you will probably catch on fire while you're down there. And once more, I don't know where I'm at, no clue. So I rage. Arrgh.